Okay, so I know I said that I don't typically do favorites videos every month because I just realistically don't have a new set of favorites every month. But this month was totally different, that I just had to sit down and film another favorites video for you guys. Otherwise, my next favorites video would just be too big and too long. The reason I think I've accumulated a lot more favorites this month is because I'm usually pretty like dead set in my skincare. Like every now and then I'll have like a new skincare fave, but I'm pretty kind of like set in my ways with the products I like. But in an effort to just consume less, I've just been using the things that I have that are like sent for me in PR, or that I've just had for a long time and never tried. Yeah, and in the process, I've discovered new things that I really love. So let's get started. So I have makeup, I have skincare, I have body care, I have fragrance. Yeah, so let's just get started. We're gonna move down the line. Okay, I'm gonna start with deodorant. I have the Kosas Sport Serene Clean Chemistry Serum Deodorant. I'm almost out of this. I need to get some more. So I know a lot of people swear by this. I was kind of like used it off and on and just wasn't really sure if I liked it or not. I haven't used any personal deodorant in years. Okay, I'm committed. I'm not doing it anymore. However, I've just like always have a hard time finding a natural or a non, antiperspirant deodorant that actually does what it's supposed to do. So I find myself having to like bounce around to different deodorants that I really like, but because after a while, like I feel like my body gets used to it and I just start to smell really bad. So I had this in my medicine cabinet and I switched over to this when my last one failed me yet again. And I'm now going on weeks of exclusively using this and it is not failing me. It has AHA in it, so it like exfoliates, but it's like a roller ball. It's a liquid. It doesn't smell like anything, to be honest, even though this technically is scented. I think they do have a scent-free one, but it just don't smell when I'm using it. And so I really love it. I'll definitely repurchase. Highly recommend if you too struggle with finding a clean deodorant that works. Okay, next product is by Isle of Paradise. I bought this on a whim because obviously everybody on TikTok raves about it. I'm not usually a sunless tanner person. I just stay fair all year round and don't really care about that. However, I was a little bit curious and thought I'd give this a try, and I fell in love with it. As you can see, it's almost gone. I just bought a replenishment. I did see on TikTok that people are using the refills and putting it in a mister spray that they get off Amazon. However, when I was at Sephora, they didn't have the refill in stock. So I did get the spray again, which I still really love. But I just think this is one of the most natural looking and easiest self tanners I've ever used. I find myself reapplying this every week or two and it's just really easy. So there's a pro and a con in that it doesn't have a guide color. The con being you can definitely miss some spots. But because it's so natural looking, anytime I've missed a little bit, like it's not really that noticeable. But the pro about that is that it's so easy to use. It doesn't like stain your clothes or anything. Like I literally just get out of the shower, I spray this on everywhere. I kind of rub it in with the mitt. I even mist my face. And then I just put on my clothes and go about my day. And then like later that evening, I'll just rinse it off. I love it. So because I've been using a lot of fake tan, I'm normally kind of lazy when I get out of the shower with like putting lotion on my body, which kind of sucks because my skin is perpetually dry. So it's definitely something I should be doing, but like who has the time or the patience? But it does look a lot nicer. It helps to preserve the tan and keep it from fading in a kind of blotchy way. So it's good to moisturize. So Flamingo sent me this light hydrating spray. They sent me a few other things, which I have yet to try out yet, but I did try out this because I saw it in Target and thought it was so interesting because it's a spray, and anything that promises to be like really easy to use after the shower, I love. And so I tried this immediately once I opened the package and I love it. This stuff is so great. I literally just mist it on everywhere out of the shower and either just let it soak in or I just kind of like rub it in like lotion. It is amazing. It's just super hydrating. It's So easy. I literally can't stress that enough. It's so easy. Okay, another thing kind of odd, but it is Coppertone Water Babies SPF. Okay, so when it gets to be this time of year, so I'm a huge proponent of SPF every single day, 365, 24/7 SPF, right? Well, I guess not 24/7. I don't put it on at night, but I wear sunscreen all year round. However, I don't necessarily always have to do sunscreen on my body throughout the year because, you know, I'm covered up. But in the summer, we're wearing, you know, tank tops, shorts, whatever, our skin's exposed. So I needed to replenish my sunscreen for my body, which has expired since last year. And I took a trip down memory lane and got the Coppertone Water Babies, which anybody else who grew up in the 90s, like, do you remember the original bottle? I'll put a picture of it here. But like, I went to the store looking specifically for that bottle and saw this, and I'm like, okay, don't do that. Like, why do brands why do they have to update their packaging to like get on with the times? It's like, just keep it as it is. It's nostalgic, okay? But the smell is still very much the same, you guys. I don't like these new sunscreens trying to get away from smelling like a sunscreen when I feel like everybody loves the smell of sunscreen. Like, it smells so good. It reminds me of the beach. It reminds me of summer. It reminds me of vacation and being a little kid. Ugh, I love this. Oh, the little girl doesn't show her butt anymore, I just noticed as well. That I can understand, but the changing of the bottle, I can't. Speaking of scents, I have 2 fragrances here, or maybe I should move on to skincare since it kind of, who cares? Nobody cares. Okay, I have 2 fragrances here. The first one is by Hermetica called Vertical Oud. First of all, I've never tried anything by Hermetica, but this fragrance boutique, Twisted Lily, reached out to me and wanted to send me a fragrance. So they sent me like a bunch of samples based on, you know, things I said I liked, and then was like, pick out your favorite. And this ended up being my favorite by far. This perfume smells so good. I've never tried anything by this brand before. And look at this bottle. Like, this cap itself is like 5 pounds. Not really, but you know, I'm being hyperbolic. But it's just like has a nice weight to it. And what's interesting is it's really not more expensive than like a standard perfume, like because of like the luxury packaging, and it's a parfum and not an eau de toilette, so there's no alcohol in it. I really kind of expected it to be really pricey, but it's pretty on par with like any kind of department store fragrance. This smells so good. Okay, I'm going to try my best to explain. This is warm and sexy. I would call it very unisex. It's both feminine and masculine. It's got amber and oud, but there's something else, like something a little bit feminine in there. So it doesn't steer it one way or the other. It's just completely my taste. I would consider this to be a more evening fragrance or a daytime, like fall or winter as well. I don't find myself wearing it during the day in the summer because I'm using something else, which I'll get to in a second. But this just smells so good, so sexy. I can't rave about it enough. So my daytime summer fragrance, I'm so excited because I literally just bought it 2 days ago. But it's in my favorites because it's a repurchase, and it is by Aesop, and it's the Marrakech Intense. I had this a couple years ago, and I use it all the way up, like down to the last drop. I loved it so much. And then, you know, I have a lot of fragrances, so I just kind of moved on and was ready to try other things. And lately I've been looking at my perfume collection and thinking, there's nothing in here that is really like a daytime summer fragrance, in my opinion. I wanted something light. I wanted something fresh. And I just didn't have that. And so I kept thinking back to this fragrance and how much I loved it. And so the other day I was driving by the store and I was like, if there's parking, because there's hardly ever parking at the store. I was like, if there's parking, this is a sign. And there was a spot right up front for me. And I was like, well, as God intended, I went and got the perfume. And No regrets at all. I'm putting it on, like, I'm literally going to go through this bottle so fast because I just keep putting it on like multiple times throughout the day because it does last, but there's nothing like that initial, like, oh my God, how can I describe this? It is fresh. There's definitely some green. I believe the influence was to smell like a spice market. And I definitely am getting that. However, it has like, it's fresh. It's not too spicy. Like it's spicy with like a hint of like citrus and like green. And it's definitely, again, unisex, does not lean feminine or masculine. It's just kind of everything all in one. I can't, like, if you live near an Aesop store or you just want to blind buy, I cannot recommend this enough. Try it. It's so good. Okay. I have a little bit of an odd one here, but it's Floss, and it's Cocofloss in particular, the fresh coconut. This is kind of weird, like a floss, why? But the thing about it is that like this floss got me into flossing. Okay, so I have always brushed my teeth, obviously, but was not a big flosser. Like maybe like before I'd go to the dentist, I'd do a little floss. I feel like a lot of us, right? No one's going home and secretly flossing at night. Maybe some of us, but not most, I believe. You know, last time I went to the dentist, I had a few cavities, okay? I missed a couple cleanings due to dental anxiety, and so had some cavities. And I didn't like getting them filled. It caused a lot of anxiety for me. It was a whole big thing. I had to go back. There's a video on it if you want to see what happened. But so in that moment, I was kind of like, you know what, this is absolutely avoidable and I can just be more diligent with flossing. My dentist office sells the Cocofloss there. And so I was like, you know, give it to me. They swear by this one for some reason, which I thought like all dental floss is the same, but apparently it's not. So I picked up the Floss, the coconut flavor, and absolutely loved it. And then I ran out before my next cleaning. I just was using some other dental floss that I had lying around, and I was like, this sucks. I hate flossing with this. So when I went back for my next cleaning, I bought like 8 things of this so that I wouldn't run out before my next cleaning. I mean, I could definitely buy this other places. It's just convenient that it's, you know, I can pick it up while I'm checking out at the dentist. But the fresh coconut in particular, if again, we're back to the sunscreen, this is like flossing my teeth with sunscreen. It is amazing. I love it so much that I went looking to see if like they also made toothpaste maybe in this flavor. I would definitely buy that. I think that's really good. Cocofloss, if you're listening, how about moving on to cocoa paste? Coconut, okay? I would use it. 100%. I'm not married to the mint flavor that we've all just been peddled since the beginning of time. I'll do coconut. I don't care. But yeah, this is just an amazing floss. If you're looking to get into flossing, I highly recommend. Okay, back to skincare. I know we're kind of pivoting. We're all over the place, but it's okay. Keeping you on your toes. Sunscreen. Okay, so this one's for the face. This is the Supergoop Play Everyday Lotion SPF 50. So what happened was I ran out of my normal sunscreen, which is the Renee Rouleau Weightless Protection, which I still absolutely love and will definitely purchase again in the near future. However, like I said, I was running out of things and I'm like, you know what? I have so much stuff. Let's go digging around. So I was kind of like, this is going to break me out for sure. It didn't. And in fact, I love it, okay? I use this as my daytime moisturizer and SPF, and I just love it so much. It's a great base under makeup. It's not irritating. It leaves no white cast whatsoever. It's vegan. It's reef safe. It's non-irritating. No synthetic fragrances. You know, you name it. It's just good. It's got antioxidants, and it's got that high SPF of 50, which I love. So this now is almost empty. I would absolutely buy it again. I'm like kind of in a race now. I'm like, who's going to win, Renee Rouleau or Supergoop? So if you like something a little bit dewy, this definitely has like a really like kind of dewy lotiony texture. The Renee Rouleau is more of a matte finish. So good to have both depending on preferences. But yeah, so if you're looking for something more matte, maybe try the Renee Rouleau. If you want something a little bit more dewy, try this Supergoop Play. The serum I've been using is by the Inkey list. This is the Hyaluronic Acid Serum. This is such an interesting line. I hear so many people rave about. Kind of reminds me a little bit of The Ordinary. You know, it's the no frills packaging. It's very just like ingredient focused, and it's on the more affordable end. So I love hyaluronic acid. Like I said, I have more dehydrated skin. And I've had this laying around forever, and for some reason I was afraid to use it. I thought for sure, I think everything's going to break me out, because sometimes things break me out, and I avoid and I just stick to what I know because I'm afraid. But I thought, again, I ran out of my serum, and I thought, give it a try. You only live once. And I'm so glad that I did, because this is an amazing hyaluronic acid. This is probably my favorite hyaluronic acid that I've tried. It's nice and thick, but not greasy. It sinks right in. It's very hydrating. It has not broken me out at all, not irritating whatsoever. Like, it's just amazing. And it comes in this like tiny little bottle, which is so nice to like kind of travel with if you need. And I love it. Another thing by the Inkey list. These are the only 2 Inkey list products I've tried, and so far I love them both so much. So I'm really excited to maybe try some more stuff. But this is the Oat Cleansing Balm. I use this as a makeup remover. So I ran out of like my large size milky jelly, which I've been using for years to take off my makeup. I absolutely love it. I saw this in Sephora, and I had just heard so many things about the Inkey list, and for some reason this was just calling my name, and I thought, why don't I give this a try? And I really like it. It says to use it on damp skin, but I find that cleansing balms just do much better on dry skin. So I just massage this on like a dime or nickel size amount onto my skin at the end of the night. Once water hits it, it turns like really milky and kind of melts off. It doesn't really leave a film on the skin. It does leave like a little bit more hydrated, but I always do a double cleanse at the end of the night to get off sunscreen and makeup and things like that. So the second cleanser I've been using to follow up is by Alpha H. I've had such a joy using this. They sent this to me, and I really love any Alpha H product I've tried, I've really loved. So I was excited to see this cleanser. This is their triple action cleanser with thyme. I believe this is on the newer side. So here's the thing. This is so different than any cleanser I've tried. This is a non-foaming gel. When I tell you it's non-foaming, I mean there's not a sud in sight. It is the strangest thing. It almost feels like you're washing your face with aloe vera. It definitely is something to get used to, but I love it so much. The smell, it smells like powdery and clean. Just so comforting to use. I can't express that enough. And I just love it. It's got kind of like a cooling feeling because of like the gel. It just feels nice on the skin. And if you can get past the idea that a cleanser only cleans if it foams, then I think anybody would love this because it's just so nice and pleasant to use. It does not strip the skin whatsoever. I get excited every day in the shower when it's like face wash time because I just like massage this everywhere and it just feels so luxurious. So love, love, love this. Okay, now moving into some makeup. I have a few makeup items here. So the first thing I'm going to show you is basically an entire line of makeup. It's not necessarily one product in particular, but it's the Colorescience. You guys, okay, I've been using this Colorescience for a while. You guys have seen me use it a lot. It's the Sunforgettable Total Protection Face Shield in SPF 50. It has a little bit of a tint to it. I believe it comes in 2 or 3 shades, which, you know, if it were a foundation would be absolutely terrible, but it's really not a foundation. It doesn't really have any coverage. It more just kind of gives you a glow. So like, as you can see, this is like much too light for me, but once it blends in, like it just kind of eliminates the white cast and just gives your skin a nice glow. And so I'm a big proponent in layering sunscreens. There's this like trend going on TikTok of people like literally putting so much sunscreen on their face. This is crazy. Like, you do not need to do that. Like, obviously you do need to make sure you're using enough sunscreen, but I really love the layering technique. So I like to use this. as my first layer, and then I follow up with this as my second layer, and gives me like a nice little glow. And, you know, I'm kind of just making sure my skin's super protected. So then Colorescience sent me a few of their other products, and I am blown away. Colorescience combines makeup with SPF. So all of their products have SPF. So this is their eye cream, which also has an SPF of 35, and it's a concealer also. I got, I believe, the lightest shade. They have a medium and a deep, I believe. And again, not a whole lot of coverage, just kind of brightens up under the eye. So you're not really looking for like an exact shade match here, just something like within the color family in which your skin kind of lives. And I've been using this pretty much every day for the past 2 weeks, and I love it. It doesn't crease. Again, just leaves like a really nice brightening effect to the eye, and it has an SPF of 35, which is great because I feel like a lot of times sunscreen can be really irritating to the eyes. So since this is formulated for the eyes, I haven't had any issues. And they also have these, I'm missing one, color balms, which are like bronzer slash highlighter slash blush slash eyeshadow slash lipstick. Again, like it's just kind of makeup for wherever you need it, but it also has an SPF of 50. This is genius. I'm going on vacation soon, and I'm literally, all I'm taking is like the Colorescience stuff, because I'm going to be on the beach, I'm going to be doing stuff. It's like, why? It's like, this is like water resistant, sweat resistant, and it has SPF. So it's like, the more the merrier. I just love the concept. I'm obsessed with this color in particular. This is their berry color. It just looks so nice on the cheeks and the lips. There's a bronze color. I've been using it on my eyes as well. And then this one's like a little bit of a peachy color. I believe you can buy these all three in a set. Like, I love like putting on a full face of makeup and being like, okay, everything is SPF. Like, that is crazy. Okay, so moving on to some other makeup that is not SPF, we have a Well People bronzer. So I recently, not super recently, but I did a video trying out some Well People products I had never tried before, and this bronzer was one of them. I initially thought it was going to be really dark for me because I'm very fair-skinned, and so it comes off like pretty dark, but it's actually really sheer, and it has this like nice purpley undertone that just looks really natural on the skin. It's called their Bio Bronzer, by the way, and I just love it. Like, this is just such a nice color. I love how sheer it is because I'm just not like, I think a lot of bronzer on my face just does not look good. It doesn't look natural. I'm very fair skinned. No one's believing that I'm like so pale and then having like dark bronzer on my face. So I just really love it. If you're fair skinned or wanting something a little bit more sheer, I definitely recommend this. Another bronzer, who would have thought? I'm like so into bronze right now. This is by Kosas, and it's the soft bronze in the shade Light. Gorgeous, gorgeous powder bronzer. This is a beautiful, okay, so this kind of reminds me of the Hourglass ambient lighting powder in the way that it's like kind of shimmery, but not, like just a little bit light reflective. That's kind of the vibe here with this bronzer. And I really love using this on the eyes. I'm kind of like off eyeshadow right now, especially in the summer. I just only like applying like a bronzer or like a blush to my eyes just because it looks really effortless and natural and kind of ties into the rest of the makeup. So this is gorgeous on the eyes, and I have it on today. One of my faves is my Apple Watch, and this is kind of weird. I've never been an Apple Watch person, literally ever. I never, ever thought I would get an Apple Watch. Shut up. I never thought I would get an Apple Watch. And to be honest, I don't care about like the new whatever. I got the oldest one that was still available, and this is the Series 3, I believe. But I've been wearing like a Fitbit for like the past year, and Fitbits are really ugly. Like, no offense if you wear one, like I wore one, but like they're not like a flashy piece of jewelry that like you feel good in. Like, I was always like with my black Fitbit, like on with like my cute outfit. I just hated it. But what I liked about it was that it tracked my sleep, tracked my heart rate, and tracked my steps. And I really like, because I don't, I kind of have like a more sedentary lifestyle. I like the reminder of just like, hey, get up and move your body, go for a walk, things like that. That was really helpful for me. And I like tracking my sleep, like if I'm not feeling well throughout the day or the week, I can go back and see like, well, how am I sleeping? Am I tossing and turning? Like things like that. I just like that. So I never thought an Apple Watch was very attractive either. Like I thought it just looked a little bit too sporty for my taste. But one day I saw that you can buy the metal kind of link. I didn't know you could buy different wristbands for it that weren't by Apple. I had no idea. I knew nothing about the Apple Watch. And so I saw this silver like chain band from Casetify, which are known for their iPhone cases. And so the second I saw that, I was like, okay, this changes everything. Now maybe I can have that same benefit of the Fitbit, but it's like a cuter piece of jewelry that I don't have to like be worried about clashing with my outfit or whatever. I love this thing. I don't do any of like the phone features. I find it like really annoying. Like the first time I put it on and I got a phone call like on my wrist, I was like, absolutely not. Like that's not what we're doing. Like I don't get text messages on it. I don't get phone calls on it, like nothing. I'm like, I do not need another way for people to reach me. Okay. I'm addicted to my phone. I really, like I said, I like it. Like you can do GPS on it. So when I'm driving, it just kind of like buzzes. I'm not sponsored by Apple, like literally at all. I just found this, like, I'm like the last person to like know about an Apple Watch. So I'm like, you guys, it has features. Okay. But anyway, I'm mostly just excited because it has like all of these cool things that I really like enjoyed about my Fitbit plus more. And that it's like a cool piece of jewelry on my wrist. Like I haven't worn a watch in years. And so I'm like, what time is it? 3:46. Next thing I want to show you are my beloved. I just had to take them off my feet because they're glued to my feet. Are you dying? Hello? Are you dying? These are by Lisa Says Ga. These sandals, I could marry them. I love them so much. They come in like different cow print patterns. These come in like a different color as well, blue. And surprisingly enough, I didn't get the cow print ones because I think I'm just like, I love cow print, but I'm like, I have so many cow print shoes. I have so many cow print things. Like I'm like, I just didn't need another cow print shoe. These, however, oh my God, you guys know how much I'm loving green right now. I feel like every piece of clothing or accessory I buy right now is green, and I'm not going to apologize for that. So these, these are pricey, okay? And so when I saw these, I was like, you know what? I don't need sandals. I really want them, but I don't need them. So, I'm trying to be better with saving money and stuff. So I just kind of like, let me sit with it. And they were absolutely haunting me. They were working their way into my dreams. Every outfit I pictured myself in, I was wearing these shoes. I was like, I can't. I was growing more in love with these by the day. Like I just couldn't stop thinking about them. So one night I'm laying in bed with my boyfriend and I'm like, I think I must do it. And he was like, okay, yeah, sure. Knock yourself out. And so I like went to order them and they were out of my size. And that's when I knew I truly wanted them because I lost it. I was like, no. What are we going to do? And I was like on their Instagram. I saw they weren't going to restock them. I was like, I'm freaking out. So I got a 7 because sometimes, I have small feet. I'm a size 6, but I kind of have a wide foot. And so I'm like with a sandal like this, sometimes they're made for like a slender foot. So I'm like, you know what? I'll try a 7. Maybe they'll work out. And so I was sweating in like the couple days it took for them to get here because I was like, maybe if they don't fit, they're not meant to be mine. And if they do fit, then this was the right decision. And when I tell you they fit, I'm going to fall out of my chair. I have never loved a shoe more. Okay? I absolutely don't regret it at all. Okay, last thing I have, I'm also wearing, and it is these Jenny Bird earrings. Jenny Bird has quickly become my favorite jewelry brand ever. And my girl Julia over at Jenny Bird, hey girl, if you're watching, sent me some pieces that have just quickly become just permanently on my person. I shower in them, I sleep in them, like you name it. Look, the cutest little, let me take them out so I can see what I'm talking about. So these look just like cute little hoops, but when you look closely, they're hearts. I hope you guys can see what I'm seeing. Even the little earring back is a heart. How cute. So I've been wearing these earrings to death. These are just like a perfect everyday hoop. I literally, like I said, sleep in them, shower in them. And then the other thing I've been wearing, also I have to show you, it's because on me, and is their anklet. My legs are hairy, but that's okay. But look at this anklet. When's the last time you wore an anklet? Okay, for me it was summer 98, okay? And it was like hemp, okay? It wasn't cool, beautiful gold. But yeah, Jenny Bird came out with some anklets. I have all of them and love them, but this is the one I wear constantly. Again, shower with it, sleep with it, everything. It's just a nice piece of dangly jewelry on my foot, and who doesn't want that? Now you see why I had to do another video, because I had so many things to get through. So this was my entire favorites. Let me know what you think. Are you into any of this stuff that I mentioned, or what? Yeah, I never know how to end them. I always say, let me know what your favorites are, but only like 3 of you ever do, because maybe you think I'm just saying that, but I do want to know. So if you feel compelled, let me know. If not, no worries. I'll see you in my next video.